sponge cake. Today I'll be showing you how I made this flower candy headband, which I am so proud of, actually. For those of you that don't already know, I've been really into Decora and getting into my DIY bag lately, and I've also been getting into Raves, so it just kind of has been falling into place. There are many different types of accessories and patterns that you can make for KANDI, which is really cool. It can range from like this headband that I have right here to even like goggles and masks and you name it. So it's been really fun just kind of discovering the whole world of KANDI. It's super interesting. Anyways, without further ado, let's get to the tutorial. So I'm starting out with some beads and string I got from Bead Tin. I'm planning for my flowers to be in a rainbow pattern, hence the rainbow beads, with white in each center, hence the white beads. You can choose any colors you like for the flowers, of course. I've just been really into rainbow candy lately. I'm also using a candy needle from Amazon, which is honestly optional, but very helpful when it comes to candy like the flower pattern we're about to make. You want to make sure the beads are big enough to fit the string through multiple times as needed, and you want to make sure that they're even in dimensions for the flowers to stand on their own. You'll see what I mean later. To start, I am cutting a long piece of string over 3 times the size of my head. It still ended up being too short later, so I would try 4 times the size just to be safe. Next, I am adding 3 beads of each color and repeating until I get to 30 beads. If you want all of your flowers to be the same color, you can just add 30 beads. You can add a little more or less depending on the size of your head. It's just important that it's a multiple of 3 to have a proper base for each flower.
Round start. Game over.
Once I've got my 30 beads in, I am tying both ends of the string, one short end, one long end. The long end will be used to loop back around the candy, so make sure that it's as long as it can be. I am also tying it about 3 times to make sure that it's secure. Next, I am taking the long end of my string and pulling it through the neighboring bead it is pointing towards. In my case, it's a purple bead. And then I am taking my beads, which will be in the center of each flower. In this case, my white beads. And then I'm threading 1 bead at a time onto the long piece of string, and then pulling the long piece of string through the next 2 beads. In my case, purple and blue. And then you rinse and repeat. The way that I like to remember it is you add a bead, then string from the current color out through the first bead of the next color. Or add a bead, string through 2 beads. add a bead, string through 2 beads, add a bead, string through 2 beads. You want to always make sure that the center bead ends up on the middle bead of the current color. And then I'm just continuing this all the way around till I get to the first flower again. You want to pull your string through the next 2 beads as you would per usual to finish out that last flower center. And then next, you will pull the string through the center of the next flower. In my case, the white center of my purple flower. Once you are through the center of that next flower, you want to add the 2 colors of the neighboring flowers in order, which will stack their respective petals. Once you've got those in, you want to pull the string through the center bead of the next flower and then add another 2 beads in their respective neighboring colors. This time for me, it's blue, then green. Rinse and repeat. I am continuing all the way around the headband like so, and also tightening as I go to make sure that the flowers start to stand up. I'm making sure to loop through the center bead of the first flower again, in my case purple, to finish out this set. I am also pulling firmly to make the flowers start to stand on their own. Next, I am also pulling the string through the next 2 beads, in my case purple and blue. To finish out each flower, I will be adding one last bead in the color of each current flower on top of the white bead. In my case, I will be starting with blue. Then I am pulling through 2 beads and adding a bead for the next flower color, and so on. Like earlier, I am adding a bead, pulling through 2 beads, adding a bead, pulling through 2 beads, until I reach the start of the headband again. Again, I am making sure to tighten as I go so that the flowers will all stand up on their own. Like I said earlier, I did run out of string here, so what I recommend if this happens to you is that you just take another piece of string and tie it to the very end of the current string you're working with, and then make sure that it's really secure. I tied it like 3-4 times, and then cut the 2 pieces that are left behind so that it doesn't stick out in the headband or whatever jewelry you're making.
Round start.
For the top of that last flower, you want to make sure that you're pulling through the next 2 beads as you did with all of the others. And you want to make sure that you pull nice and tight to make sure that there isn't any excess string going on in there. All of the flowers are standing upright. And then you want to pull through all of the neighboring beads that you need to in order to get to the other shorter strand of string so that you can tie the 2 of them together. There isn't a real method to the madness. I apologize that my fingers are kind of covering the process, but basically I pulled it through a couple of purple beads, which is the current flower that I'm on, to get to the point where I'm in between the purple and the pink, along with the shorter strand of string. Once the 2 ends of string are next to each other, you just want to tie them together nice and tight. I tie them like 4 times, I believe, just to make sure that it's really secure in there. And then I'm cutting off the excess string so that they don't show when I'm wearing the headband. Last step, admire your finished product. So yeah, this is how I made my KANDI flower headband, which I am so proud of. It can be really cute for a Decora cord or rave outfit or even like a Kidcore type of vibe. It's so versatile and so cute. Its bright colors immediately make me so happy. Of course, you can replace it with whatever colors make you happy. And you can also change the size of string that you use to make it the size of like your wrist to make a bracelet, or you can make it the size of your thigh to make a garter. There's so many different ways that you can use this pattern. Like, I imagine that you can probably even like use this type of pattern to make like, you know, like a KANDI bra or something, like a KANDI top. Like, there's so many different like cool things that you can make with KANDI, and that's the fun of it. If you like this video, please let me know, because I am gonna be pretty much spending all of my free time making KANDI, and I don't mind if there's a camera while I do it, so let me know. Thank you guys ever so much for watching. If you like this video, please don't forget to hit like and subscribe. And as always, love you guys, and till next time. Bye-bye! I love the sound of KANDI.